Won't it be Ryan the Great? And today we are talking the Philadelphia 76ers, guys. This team is in big trouble. They have a lot of problems at the current moment in time. We have a lot of injuries. Play on the court's not looking good. We're losing to terrible, terrible teams like the Memphis Grizzlies. And just overall a lot of problems. So we're going to break this all down, and we're going to look in towards the future, look at the past, future, yada, yada, yada. You guys obviously see, me on the podcast, CR7 Podcast every week, and also CR7 Podcast, if you guys didn't hear yesterday's video, released our very own Twitter for the CR7 Podcast, or X account, whatever you want to call it. So we released that, so make sure you guys go hit that with a follow. But also, you hear me talking about it every week with the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm always trying to talk about Tobias Harris, stuff like that. So we're going to be breaking this all down. So yeah, we're going to get right into it. But before we get right into it, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother, Lynn the Great Vlogs. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the Cod Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X at RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 Podcast. And make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Great Podcast. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the video. Let's roll that intro. Won't it be Ryan the Great? And today it'll be intercepted! The defensive line. What the hell are you doing? No effort whatsoever when it came to the defense. Bat, he is 0 for 2 today. Come on, Stotty. Stop! 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 Red slam! First pitch! Bring him in! Braxton! Stop! Woo! Ring that! Yes! Oh, damn. 1, 2, 3. What? Alright, let's get into the video. So starting off, what is the Philadelphia 76ers' biggest problem at the current moment in time? Obviously, it's injuries. I mean, we need to get guys healthy. We have Embiid out. We have Maxey out. We have DeAnthony Melton out. We have Robert Covington out. Kyle Lowry is taking some days off. He took the day off the other night, just for rest, which is just honestly ridiculous. I mean, with the way the Sixers are playing right now, they're losing as many games as they are winning, so that just cannot be happening, and we have to get that fixed. But I'm looking at Tobias Harris right now, and he is so unaggressive. I mean, there's no aggression at all. When he doesn't, when he drives to the basket, he tries to create no contact. It seems like anytime the defense is a soft defense, that's when he actually gets aggressive and starts driving to the basket. He doesn't take open shots for whatever weird reason. He's always passing it out to the top of the key when he has an open three in the corner. It just doesn't make any sense, to me, why Tobias Harris is just not being aggressive at all, no matter what. It's very, very concerning because Tobias Harris should be the number one scorer on the Philadelphia 76ers. You could say Buddy Hield, but in my opinion, it should be Tobias Harris because he's been with this team for 5 years. He should be the number one scorer without Maxey and Joel Embiid. So he should be scoring the basketball, but 8 points against a Memphis Grizzlies team with completely no players, with a bunch of guys that, they brought in from the G League and the streets. That just can't be happening. What else did I want to say? Tobias Harris, he needs to step up. I've been consistently saying it throughout the entire year. If the Sixers want to win a championship, Tobias Harris is going to need to step up. He has not been doing that. He's been very inconsistent as of late. One game he'll have 20 points. The next game he'll have 8. 18 points against the Brooklyn Nets. Are you absolutely kidding me? The Brooklyn Nets are don't even know what their plan is, and you have 18 points while Kelly Oubre is out there dominating, and you guys still lose that game. That can't be happening. Another problem I see with the Sixers is our interior defense. I said at the trade deadline, make a move for Andre Drummond, but the Philadelphia 76ers decided to stick with Mo Bamba and Paul Reed. Listen, those guys are very good players. I'm not denying what they can bring to the table. Paul Reed, I think he brings a lot of energy. I think he gets a lot of rebounds. But the problem is, when you want him to score the basketball, that is going to be a bit of a problem. Because that's what the Sixers have been needing as of late. They need a lot of guys to score the basketball. And if he's going to be starting in those games, they're going to need him to do that. But he had 17 points on 16 shots. That cannot be happening. Mo Bamba, he barely touched the court. I mean, and putting him in a late game situation after Paul Reed fouled out is not really what you want to see. On the court. Like, it just shouldn't be happening. I saw last night when Jaren Jackson Jr. was taking up the basketball on Paul Reed, he would take it in there, he'd back him down, throw his shoulder at him, put up a little, just a little floater right there, and then, it's either he made it, and, Memphis cut the lead or kept extending their lead, or he would miss it, offensive rebound, put it back up, or another guy would come in and get an offensive rebound. Memphis had a lot more energy last night. They were getting the offensive rebounds. Jaren Jackson Jr., after hurting his wrist, was still dominating the Philadelphia 76ers on both sides of the ball. It was terrible. It was just absolutely terrible. I don't know what the answer is to that. The answer, I guess, would just be to crash the boards more, but, it didn't really seem like it was working at all. I saw guys crashing the boards. It just was not working. It's a really big problem right now. But can Maxey and Joel Embiid even save this team? In my opinion, I believe it depends on how fast Joel Embiid does come back. He's going to have to get used to the rotation. He hasn't played with Buddy Hield before. He's not played with role players like a KJ Martin. And how healthy he'll even be is a question. If he's coming in here 50-something percent, 60-something percent, what is that really going to do for us? Is that really going to help us? Is Nick Nurse going to be scared to get him into situations where he can get injured again? It all depends on how healthy Joel Embiid is. And a torn meniscus is no joke with how many injuries Joel Embiid has not played or has had in his career with his knees. Didn't play the first 2 years of his career because he had injuries, on his legs. It's a big concern, and how healthy he's going to be is definitely a question. And throwing him into the playoffs injured, not knowing, how to play with this new rotation. And if the Sixers are in the play-in tournament, that even makes it a lot worse. Maxey, he should be back soon in about a week probably. He has a concussion right now, obviously after hitting his knee. I don't know who it was. I don't know who hit his head on the person's knee. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I think Maxey should help us win a little bit more games because honestly, the Brooklyn game, the Memphis game, if Maxey was in there, then I do believe that, the Sixers probably would have ended up winning those games. Maybe he'll be able to lift us out of the play-in, but in my opinion, that's a pretty big if. Orlando's been on a hot streak as of late. Miami's been on a hot streak as of late. Milwaukee's been playing really good as well. Cleveland, they're still playing well while taking a step back. A lot of these teams are playing well, and, the Sixers, they don't look too good. I don't think they'll drop to the 9th seed because they're the 8th seed right now. I don't think the Chicago Bulls will take over them, but, it's not looking good for the Sixers. Now, what happens if the Sixers are in the play-in? Well, then I think they're screwed. Because even if they win and get the 2nd or the 7th or 8th seed, you're the 7th seed, you're most likely going up against Milwaukee. The way Milwaukee has played as of late, and as I just mentioned, Sixers' problem is the interior defense. When you're looking at what Giannis Antetokounmpo and Brook Lopez bring to the table, they bring a lot of interior offensive stability, and I don't think the Sixers are going to be able to handle that. And then if you look at the Boston Celtics, who are the number 1 seed, the Philadelphia 76ers, are good when it comes to perimeter defense, but they are not great. Well, they were very good with Patrick Beverley, but they have taken a step back because of the fact that Beverley is not on that team anymore. That's a bit of a problem right there. The Boston Celtics have been on a roll as of late. They've pretty much owned the Sixers in every playoff series they've ever played in. Their three-point shooting is incredible. So I think that if the Sixers get into the play-in, then they are pretty much screwed. Even getting that 6th seed, you got to play Cleveland, who we have played pretty well against. But it's the playoffs. Guys are hot. Guys can get hot at any time. Guys are coming back while not fully healthy. They're still going to be playing at a high level because it is the playoffs. The playoffs can bring anything. The regular season does not matter anymore. I think a lot of these playoffs, or this year's playoffs, comes with a lot of matchups. Matchups are definitely going to matter, especially in the Western Conference. But if the Sixers really get a bad matchup, if the Sixers get a very bad matchup, which is either the Boston Celtics or the Milwaukee Bucks, I don't really see them getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, which is obviously the goal. And as I said in the beginning of the season, I think they should blow it up if they don't really get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I might have to make an exception because of the fact that Joel Embiid obviously had that torn meniscus and he was playing at obviously an MVP level, and the Philadelphia 76ers were riding high with him. So they might have to bring it back one more year. But we're still gonna have to see what happens. Sixers can get hot at any time. Somebody can get hot at any time. We will have to see, but that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother Linda Great Vlogs. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the Kai Great. Make sure you guys go find me on X at Ryan the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go find me on TikTok at Ryan the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. Make sure you guys go find me on Twitch at Ryan the Great Podcast. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.